Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Jasper here to yap about my term as treasurer. What does end up happening when a random student with terrible grades gets some power on his hands? What does bro end up doing with all this? That and what happened after my term are coming up next. Sit back, relax, and get those snacks ready. So, as stated in the last video, watch that if you didn't. I had become treasurer through a planned technicality. I had correctly predicted nobody would run for a position in student government. I personally thought it would be secretary, but when I was filling out the Google form, I accidentally clicked treasurer when applying, and I just rolled with it, and it turned out 3 people ran for secretary, surprisingly, and I ran unopposed, which is how I won that position and also got 100% of the votes along with it. An interesting position for sure. So what exactly did I do in this 1 year that I had my term? The thing that I remember the most about it was the meetings. There were meetings every now and then when the student council would meet to discuss whatever we needed to discuss. I showed up to a lot of those. Probably not all of them, but a lot. I also, of course, got onto the yearbook picture for the student council. And another thing, we were apparently supposed to rewrite the Constitution in that year that I was there. And each person was supposed to submit something they wanted to be added. I was lazy. I never ended up doing that, but nothing ever happened to me, so. However, one of the more annoying parts of my term that I remember was dealing with some rowdy constituents. We were trying to be more open and ask people what we could do for them, how we could improve and represent them more. So we had this plan. We were going to have a town hall, and we also put out a Google form saying, hey, fill this out. What do you think we could do better? And we'll discuss it at the town hall. Come with some solutions, please. And so we got 7 responses. Most were decent. They were good. But these 3 responses, oh my god. So there was this main character, girl, who was basically saying in the forums that she should be representative for our grade. Like, we can't do that. We cannot do that at all. And she also had 2 side people saying the same thing in the response. How creative, right? I still actually remember it. We had the section that said, what do you suggest for us improvements-wise? Type thing, just trying to see what we could do better. And these NPCs put, I think insert name should be our new representative due to her boldness and passion when standing up for others and what she believes in. And then the other one, we should have insert name here become representative because she has shown boldness and takes problems and issues with the faculty seriously. Okay, then if you did run, why did you lose? And why don't you just run next year anyways? If you really think you're going to be such a good rep. Truly riveting responses we could all get behind right there, huh? Surely we can do this, I'm sure. That was definitely one of the more amusing highlights of my term, despite the annoyingness, of course. I do want to say that the other responses we got were better and did bring up some concerns we could actually act on, unlike the nothing sandwich of the terrific 3 right here. Besides obviously fundraising, we did for events. I was treasurer, so I was kind of involved with that. And besides that, there wasn't much I did. I was a dull politician, if I'm being completely honest, which is the second best type of politician. Sure, I will admit my term was boring, but it could have gone much worse. I got some things done. I just kept the ship going as intended to be, and that's about all that happened. And what was the aftermath of that? Did I run for a second term? Not to disappoint or anything, but I did not actually run for a second term because I remembered the cringe of making that video and didn't want to do it again. And I also correctly assumed there would be a lot of people that were now more interested. They were now more aware of student government after spending a year, 2 years actually, in COVID hiatus. And now that they were back and it had been a year, they were more aware and would probably want to run. And I was right. The treasurer position had 3 or 4 people on the ballot, and I didn't run. And even if I did run, I would have lost. They were all much more popular than me. And what did I have to go on? I just did what I was supposed to. I didn't do anything particularly noteworthy. I had my fun being treasurer. It was alright. It was whatever. I liked it. And it was now time to relax, sort of retire from that life, soak in my senior year. without reading the worst response to a complaint form I've ever seen. And back when I worked as a corpo, I also have seen a bunch of complaint stuff. And yeah, no, this was pretty bad. Like and sub, or you'll have to read complaint forms all day.